Hey, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Ashley. We're the founders of For the Good, a community created to empower and elevate you to live a purpose-driven life.
Our mission is to bring light into our world, and to do so, we have learned that it must start within.
We are so glad to have you here with us.
Hi friends, rather than forging ahead right into a new year, I'm taking these days to be intentional, to celebrate the wins and accomplishments, to reflect on the spaces I've grown, and to give myself grace and compassion. We've all done the best we could in 2020, especially during a year that brought with it so many uncertainties. This episode is all about encouraging us to take time to reflect, not only at the end of the year, but in its duration. Too often we feel like we have to be constantly going, especially right now. We are in the midst of the holiday season, the hustle, the bustle, and we are all in go mode. But I feel like the holidays have a purpose for us to be able to really slow down and to live in gratitude. But we get caught up in the society that we live in, trying to convince us that we have to keep doing, to keep going, that the season is really a part of busyness. But I feel like it's a part of slowing down and taking time to reflect on the year that we've just experienced, to have gratitude for our health, our wellness, our family, and all the blessings that fill up our lives. In a previous podcast, we've talked about the power of being and why it is important. You can head back to that episode to really hear Jordan and I dive in on the benefits of being. As many other people, I have been feeling like I've been getting caught up in go mode. And I feel like it's because it's the end of the year, so I'm trying to wrap up different marketing projects that I've been working on for businesses, getting our last podcast in for 2020, and also already planning ahead for 2021. And also this year, as I mentioned in a previous podcast, Jordan and I recently moved into a new home. So we have been doing all the new house things, getting ourselves settled in, especially right before the holiday season. So there's been a lot of, on my end, to-do lists because I am a fan of to-do lists. And I know that there are people out there right now listening, thinking to themselves, yep, me too. And I feel like when you are a to-do list person and you are writing down different things, like I have a list for my marketing business, I have a list for the good, I have a list for the home, for Christmas, all of these different things. And with each one, I feel like I'm crossing off one thing. There are already 3 things added to it. And even then, when I cross something off, I'm not taking the time to really reflect on what I just accomplished. Rather than celebrating the achievement or relishing in a moment of peace and joy for something that we are doing, we're already steps ahead because I think it goes back, like I said, to society. Society tries to tell us to keep up. And if we slow down, we'll fall behind. So we are constantly in this mode of hustling and working and trying to do the most that we possibly can and not realizing the power of really pausing and rejuvenating ourselves and what that looks like for us, for our well-being, and the importance and benefits that it has for our mental health. And I feel like as we are closing 2020, I'm really starting to feel it. I said I have projects that I'm working on that I'm trying to wrap up and getting ourselves ready for the holiday season, and I'm starting to feel overwhelmed. So I think right now this is why this message is on my heart, because it's something that I'm personally feeling. I'm sharing today because our mission here at For the Good is to be able to create these deeper and meaningful connections and also not allow others to ever feel like any of us are walking our journey alone. Because anything that you're feeling or thinking, I guarantee there are many people out there who feel the same exact way. So it is up to us to be able to share these stories because we are all much more alike than what we give ourselves credit for. So as I said, I have been working on being more intentional about slowing myself down. And this includes taking breaks from social media. This includes practicing gratitude more throughout the day and taking that time to pause once I cross off something off my to-do list and celebrating that moment. We rarely allow ourselves this time to slow down and reflect on what we've done, own it, and relish in this moment because we are already ahead at the next step, thinking about what is ahead rather than fully being present in this moment. Over these next days, as we celebrate the holiday season and wrap up 2020, I am going to be intentional about taking this time to reflect and pause and be, knowing that this is going to really rejuvenate me and I'm going to feel so much more refreshed as I head into and start a new year rather than just plowing forward right into it. So I know on your end, life is busy. You too are wrapping up this year, but know how important it is to be able to take this time to reflect. Know that you have grown. Know that you are stronger and wiser because of 2020. And it's so important for you to be able to honor yourself in this space and give yourself a pat on the back, give yourself a high five, whatever that looks like, and say, way to go. You made it. We've made it. And I am so proud of each and every one of you because we are here and we are stronger because of the times when we felt that there was uncertainty. We've conquered and overcome times of difficulty. And along the way, there were things to celebrate. There were things to acknowledge and be proud of. So everything in this space, everything that this year brought with it, it is part of your story. And it is creating and molding you into the person that you are going to continue to become in 2021. So I encourage you to join me in taking time to be intentional. If this looks like reflecting on it in your own mind for a while, meditating on it, that's perfectly fine. If you are someone like me who likes to journal and write things down, grab a notebook, put pen to paper, and write down the things that you can when it comes to what you can celebrate as part of 2020, where you've grown, what you've learned, and reflect on it. And like I said earlier in the podcast, this is something I feel like is important for us to do not only at the end of the year, but also make it a daily practice and really allow ourselves to be present and take it all in. Bless you and your families this holiday season. Jordan and I are holding you in our hearts. Thank you so much for your support and encouragement here at For the Good. This coming February will be 1 year of our For the Good podcast, and we can't wait for the new episodes, the new stories that are going to be brought to light here in 2021. Thank you guys so much again for joining me. Have a great day, everyone, and make today count.
Thanks for joining us at the For the Good podcast. We would love to connect with you. Join us on Facebook and Instagram at For the Good Official, and our blog at forthegood.com. And be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode.
Remember, a positive mindset is the beginning of true happiness, not just for the good of the individual, but for the good of the world.